Good morning. This is Shri here with the recap of the women's singles semifinals. It was a rematch that happened in the US Open between the current Australian Open champion Sabalenka and the American Coco Gauff, who won the US Open. So this was revenge on the cards. I did talk about it yesterday, and it turned out to be a very impressive match. It was very much early in the morning, so it was kind of difficult to follow, but I did manage to catch the highlights. And Sabalenka definitely seemed to be a very good player, and she and Coco Gauff battled very well in the first set, went to a tiebreaker, but in the tiebreaker, it was Sabalenka all the way. She took a impressive 5-1 lead and then never gave up, and then wrapped up the first set. The second set was a great battle with actually Coco Gauff actually making almost a little bit of a comeback. I mean, 3-all in the second set, had a 30-15 lead on Sabalenka's serve, but Sabalenka continued to demonstrate why she's one of the world's best players. Even though she's not seeded number one, I mean, she definitely proved that she's kind of matured over the years. I mean, there was a time that she could not even serve properly. She was getting into too much of the double fault. I mean, the serving yips, as they call it in tennis. And Sabalenka rebounded pretty well, and then took on the set 6-4. Now, this match, I mean, couldn't have been any closer. First set was a tiebreaker. Second set was a 6-4 with 1 or 2 points. So Sabalenka definitely deserves the win. And guess who she gets? I mean, she gets the Chinese, the second Chinese woman to make the Grand Slam final, following the footsteps of Lina Zheng. And she's been very impressive. And she took on the qualifier Yastremska. Yastremska struggled throughout the game, throughout the match. I mean, she did have a little bit of injury. She took a medical timeout in the first set, but Zheng continued to persist and won in straight sets. And Zheng sets up a very crucial final against Sabalenka. So really looking forward to that final. I think, could it be crowning of back-to-back champion Sabalenka, or could it be Zheng, who she's 21 years old and could be the second Chinese woman to capture the Australian Open throne. On the men's side, I mean, we already talked a little bit about that. There's both the men's single semifinals are there. Djokovic and Sinner. This could be a battle. I mean, Sinner is the only one who's actually beaten Djokovic. Last one was in Turin. So Sinner definitely is going on. Sinner has actually been the best player so far in this tournament. Pretty much won every match in 3 sets. But I don't think that's going to happen. This is anyone's pick. And, as my good friend Dr. Dan called it, I think he did call for Sinner to win it. So I do think that Sinner and Djokovic will be a battle. Never count Djokovic out. I think I did talk about the stat yesterday. Once he gets to quarterfinals, 10-0, he wins every time. So could he capture the 11th, or could Sinner get his first, or go to the final and try to be to win the Australian Open for the first time? On the other side, we do have Medvedev. Medvedev has definitely battled a lot of 5-setters, but he's been he's almost like incredible. He just comes back punching back each and every time. And he takes on Zverev, who had a very impressive victory over Alcaraz. In fact, the first 2 sets and in the third set where he was up 4-1, it looked like he was going to demolish Alcaraz. But Alcaraz, give credit to Alcaraz, he did come back. Alcaraz did make a comment at the end saying that he could have played better, but Zverev was really playing better. He's actually played much better over the last few months. And this could set up a very crucial match. I mean, Medvedev, just don't count him out either. I mean, I could definitely see a Djokovic-Medvedev final, but it would be good to have a Sinner and Zverev just to see who can capture their first Australian Open. So with that, we'll wrap up the women's semifinal wrap up and a look ahead to the men's single semifinal. Thanks for listening.